This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per talk.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination. We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
Okay, Top Tribe, this week's winner of the $100 is Rich Jones. Okay, Rich Jones, he is stuck in corporate. He wants to break free. He's binging on the show. For your chance to win $100 every Monday morning, simply subscribe to the podcast right now on iTunes and then text the word Nathan to 33444 to prove that you did it. Many people ask me how I used email to sell my first company, Heyo, and it's simple. You want to do things like open tracking so that you know when a potential buyer actually opens your email or potential new customer. You also want to set reminders so you can quickly know when to follow up with somebody if they haven't replied to you, or use things like auto follow-up sequences. You can do all of this with a company called thetopinbox.com. In fact, I liked it so much, I bought the whole business. Go try it for free at thetopinbox.com right now. Nathan Latka here. This is episode 502. Coming up tomorrow morning, you're going to learn from Alex Saidani. They've raised $125,000, giving up 5% of their business. And the question is, how do you grow it into a $2 million valuation? Good morning, folks. Nathan Latka here. Our guest today is Andrew Keene. He's the president and CEO of Alpha Shark Trading, which he originally founded as KeeneOnTheMarket.com in 2011. Prior to that, he grew up and working as a proprietary trader at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. Now, going back even further, he began his career in the prestigious Boda Capital Clerk to Trade program and would eventually co-found KATL Group. He currently actively trades futures, equity options, currency pairs, and commodities, and he's a regular guest market commentator on such networks as Bloomberg TV, CNBC, and Fox Business. His first love will always be trading, but he's arguably even more well-known for building a trading room. He's especially proud of having taught his personal strategies to over 50,000 students over the past 4 years. All right, Andrew, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, what's going on?
All right, cool. Dude, glad you're here. I think Bill from Revestor, who we had on recently, got us connected. And actually, you're in Austin, aren't you?
Yeah, I split time between Austin and San Diego, so currently right now I'm in San Diego. But
got it.
I'm
down here at the 3rd and Brazos at the Whitley in downtown Austin. So, by the way, you don't have to. Do you happen to know a guy named Joe Longton?
No, I don't.
Okay, Joe is my realtor. I was looking at some beautiful houses in Westlake, and he says, Nathan, there's this trader who has these beautiful offices in downtown Austin. I thought he said on Rainey Street. Who you go up to the top floor and there's like a car park there, and it's big and it's open. I was thinking, I wonder if that's you.
I'm on Rainey Street, and I work from home, so it might be. Yeah, but I've been doing what I've been doing is, so I moved to San Diego, and then me and Bill connected through Entrepreneurship Organization, and he has a really cool platform. I just did a Facebook interview with him about AirBNB, and Airbnb is what I'm kind of leaning towards now. As a trader and as someone who's in the finance field, I have my trading account, which is a little bit different, and then you have a 10-year interest rate running at about 1.7%. You have a lot of people out there looking for alternative investment strategies to capitalize on, money they have sitting in the bank that they can't get in bonds anymore. You used to be able to park your money in bonds and get capital returns on that, but you can't. And Airbnb is the most fascinating thing that I've seen in a very long time. So I purchased a place in San Diego so I could stay here. I was going to Airbnb it and stay here for free. And yeah, through Bill's platform, I found the place. Bill's platform's great. You can set stuff up for occupancy rate, set stuff up, Revestor. You can set it up for occupancy rates. You can set it up for, price point. You can put in location. I wanted a place close to the convention center. And for Airbnb, San Diego and Miami are the two most profitable
vacancy rates
cities.
Low. That was your thesis there?
Yeah. I mean, you can see all the places. And then, basically, San Diego and Miami are the most profitable places for Airbnb. So I started renting this place out on Airbnb. I've done ample amount of research on it. Okay. So I've been trying to get into it. I mean, profitability wise, as a percentage, like smaller places, actually like a Kansas City and Cleveland are going to be better percentage wise, but I don't really want to be there or like own places there. So yeah, I started renting this place out, and my return on capital probably this year will be about 35% of the money that I put down That's without even appreciation of the unit. So
how much did you put down?
My business, $70,000.
Okay, and what was the total price?
Profit about the unit was $350,000.
Okay.
You have to put down 20% to not pay their PMI, property mortgage insurance, and then this year I expect to make about $20,000 on that $70,000 investment. And now I'm starting to do it a little bit more, and I'm probably going to start, like a fund where I'm going to get capital for people that are looking for alternative investment strategies that are a little bit more secure. Because there's no premiums really built into it. And San Diego per se is always going to have conventions, and the weather's nice all year round.
Initial unit bought for $350,000, put 20% down to avoid PMI to increase again monthly cash flow. So you put about $70,000 down. You're gonna make about $20,000 cash here in 2016. What is driven? I mean, first off, talk to me about vacancy. So did you rent it the full time, or did you live in it for a bit and then you rent it other times?
Well, it's funny because I wanted to split time between Austin and San Diego, and I thought I would be in San Diego about a third of the time, and then I just put it up on every day. And the last 2 months, so it's only been a couple months, we've rented out like 28 and 27 of 31 days.
Okay.
So our occupancy rate's about 90%, which is higher. And then once you get to superhost status, which I'm close to getting, then your occupancy rate, you have twice as great chance of renting your place out if you're a superhost, because then they basically like advertise for you. Kind of like on Amazon, you become a quote unquote bestseller, Amazon starts advertising for you. So if you become a superhost, then Airbnb just starts, you can get more for your properties. And, 80% of everybody that has a listing at Airbnb aren't doing it for the business. They have an extra room. They're going out of the country or the state for a weekend. They're just trying to get extra capital. But looking at it as an investment, getting 35% return on capital in a year is unbelievable cash flow.
So let's talk about the risks associated with that cash flow. So you obviously can't control local governments, and we always see crazy stuff happening with the sharing economy and government officials that want to, tout how powerful they are, putting kind of constraints there. Is there any risk of that in San Diego? And if so, how do you measure it?
There are a lot of risks. So San Diego per se, it's not illegal, but it's not HOA friendly. So most buildings in San Diego, you cannot do it because your HOA won't allow it. So getting standalone units is a way to get around that because they don't have HOAs. There was one that just sold in Little Italy, and I was too slow on the trigger for about $750,000, and that would have been HOA friendly. So a lot of places aren't HOA friendly, and they're trying to do this short-term ban, and in San Diego, it actually just got declined. So they're trying to ban all short-term rentals in San Diego, and that did not pass. Doesn't mean it can't pass in the future. So your biggest risk is the short-term bill passing in a certain city. It got passed in New York and in San Francisco. Now Airbnb is suing San Francisco, the city that they started in. So that's risk. But, from my point of view, you can take advantage of this cash flow situation until you can't, okay? And worst comes to worst, they ban short-term rentals. What do? You still own the unit. So maybe it's a year, 2, 3, 5 years down the road. But once you have the unit, you can either do a long-term rental, which you're not going to get that return on investment of 35% a year.
You're just going to cover your mortgage costs.
Yeah, you'll make a little bit, or also what you can do is you can just sell the unit. So there are always risks involved, and I'm not saying that I made a lot of money on the trading for trading, and I'm not saying I'm going to take 100% of my capital that I made trading and do this, but I think as a percentage of my total net worth, it's totally a doable thing.
How much have you made on trading?
Me? I think my trading account was probably around like $5 million. I've made trading.
And give us some more context. We jumped directly into kind of the Airbnb stuff, but how old are you, Andrew?
I'm 37.
Okay, 37. Got it. So 37. You $5 million is and kind of give us more context for people that don't know what it means to trade. $5 million what?
Yeah. So I mean, when I first started trading, I was backed by Boda Capital Management, and they put up $250,000 for me to trade. I eventually became better and better. I've gotten an 80-20
Hold on. How'd you get that, Andrew? Early on, before we had any credibility, how'd you get that $250,000?
I graduated from school. I went through a clerk to trade program. I graduated from the University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana. They put you through a clerk to trade program. They teach you how to trade about 9 months to a year. You make like $2,000 a month, and then hopefully you get the opportunity to trade. And then they back you with their money because they're going to upcharge your commissions. They're going to also, take a percentage of the profit. So I just started slow, started building it up, and unfortunately, I traded on the trading floor in Chicago, the Chicago Board Options Exchange, for 10 years. There's not really any traders that left anymore. It's all electronically traded, so it's not what it was back then. And then I had two, really good years in 2007 and 2008, where basically, the market was going down every day and the world was crumbling, and
if you had cash, you made money off it.
Yeah, I did really well. And then, trading's harder because not every year is going to be a profitable year. I've had a couple of years where I've lost money. But, net probably about $5 million in trading.
So in terms of free cash flow, I mean, I imagine you've made other real estate investments before getting on the Airbnb stuff. Is that the case or no?
Yeah, I own a place in Chicago as well. And I do that as a long-term rental. So I make about $8,000 a year on that place. So that's returning about like a 5 to 8% yield. And that's not even considering the fact of properties going up in value. So the properties, my place in Chicago, I bought it for $426,000 when I was probably about 25 years old. And then the place has gone up 25,000, maybe 30,000 in the last, dozen years.
Yeah, I like that you don't kind of put or speculate appreciation into these pro formas when you're doing the analysis. That can just be icing on the cake, right?
Yeah.
So you've done the one deal in San Diego. Have you done any others?
I'm currently working on a second deal. And once I do basically prove the concept that it's doable and it's workable, I'm probably going to start looking to take investors on and raise a fund. And then, my subscriber base on my trading business is huge. And I have a customer base that's 40 to 60 and have a lot of money parked away. And, the big question I get, I'm a trader, so I trade full time. People always ask, what do you do with your conservative money? Like, how many people have money in the bank, especially when you're older, like a couple $100,000, maybe $1 million in the bank? You die to get 5% in the month right now because most people park their money in the 10-year usually, and that's 1.7%. So these alternative investments are really interesting. So I'm going to do another proof of concept on another unit, make sure the cash flow is working out well, and then I'm basically going to write a book on Airbnb, which I started working on because there's not really that much knowledge on Airbnb. They have the Airbnb open in LA in 2 weeks, and unfortunately I can't make it. I have a speaking engagement in Vegas.
Andrew, real quick, before we get too far down the funding route, tell us real quick about your current audience. So how many folks, your customers are between 40 and 60 years old? How many current customers have paid you something for your trading info product stuff?
In the last 2 years, about 7,000.
Okay, and how many people on the email list?
About 50,000 on our email list.
Okay, so what you're saying is write a book, get more kind of thought leadership, and then you have 2 proof of concept things. How big will the fund be?
I don't know. It just depends. I don't know how lending works. Like if you're going to buy a place that's $1.5 million, you only need $300,000, right?
Correct.
But I think at some point they might not be able to lend you. I have to look into a little bit deeper of how many units I can get.
Just debt coverage ratios.
Yeah, so I don't know the exact number, and I have to figure that out. What we're doing right now, and the cash flow in San Diego, the way it works, if you have a 1-bedroom downtown, it's going to be cheap. It's going to be, it rents out high in occupancy rate because a lot of people like to sardine people into the places. But I would rather have, one unit that's $1.5 million than five $300,000 places.
That's paying one cleaning person, easier to transition between guests, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but your occupancy rate will go down on a larger unit because you're going to be charging $6,000-8,000 a month per night for that unit. So this is kind of some of these things. There is some really good software there, like Revestor, that I've been using to try to calculate this out. Yeah.
What other softwares are you using to gather this data?
There's one called AirBNB, which is really good, which you can buy reports of any city. So like depending on between $70 and $150, you buy the report. So you can buy a report specifically in Little Italy. It breaks down your occupancy rate per month. It breaks down your average price. And they have a scrub of all the Airbnb data over the last year. And that's how the reports are generated.
Yep. What else?
There's another one. I forgot what it's called, but I purchased it. Oh, Mashvisor. That's another one. Mashvisor and AirBNB are the one.
Mashvisor?
Mashvisor.
Okay.
Mash. M-A-S-H. Visor. V-I-S-O-R. Okay. I've been told that they are not, that the way they get their MLS is not as accurate as it should be. So I've steered away from that one a little bit lately.
Okay. Very cool. Interesting. So what are some of the other signals you're looking for in these markets in terms of when you use Revestor and AirBNB? So vacancy rates low, obviously. What else are you looking at?
So the way that the company is going to be structured is basically it's going to be a 3-tiered structure. Number one, it's going to be I'm going to become an agent in San Diego, which does take some time to become 2 to 3 months to become an agent. So become an agent, I represent myself. Now I'm not giving an agent
Saves you 6%
of the closing cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2.5%, that's going to go to my pocket. Number two, we're going to run basically a property management. If somebody else wants to rent their Airbnb out and they don't know how to do it, we'll do that. We'll charge them probably a 30% all inclusive. 20% is 20 to 30 is standard, but I think we can charge 30% because we'll have super host status.
Wait, I don't understand, Andrew. I don't understand that. Like my company, my properties currently, my rentals that I own full outright, I pay 10% to a property management company. Where are you getting 20 to 30% from?
You pay 10% for long term, right?
Yeah.
Short term's different. Short term's way different because short term is a lot more. It's work intensive.
So if it's $1,000 rental, I'm going to pay $200 to turn that over for the next renter.
Industry standard is 20 to 30% on management companies based on Airbnb.
That's a great business model.
There's actually a lot of work. It's a great business model. There's a company based in Chicago. My brother actually uses. He pays them 30%.
What's it called?
Turnkey. So he never has to do it. I do not know the name. I could get you the name, but I do not know it off the top of my head. They charge 30%. He lives in Florida now. He wanted to keep his place in Chicago. He doesn't do any emails. He doesn't do paper towels. He doesn't do toilet paper. He doesn't have to worry about anything, but they do charge 30%.
Well, your second pilot unit, what's the cost going to be?
Around the same thing. I think we're 330 bid right now, 330, 500
so you need,
bid.
What, like
it's in
65, 70 down?
Yeah, 20%. So I'll put 70,000 again.
I would love to put in, if you'll have me, I'll make it super easy. I'll just write you a check for like 10 or 20 grand just so that my money can be in it, which means I'll have to stay committed to keeping up to date with the business. And then I can tell the story of how it's, like working with you on this via the podcast. If that's something you're interested in, I'd love to get in.
I mean, of course. Someone as famous as you.
Well,
giving me credibility.
We'll talk about it after. That's what I like to do, though. I mean, I remember in in college, I was failing my stock class, and I was like, how can I get myself motivated? I said, Nathan, you need to put your own money in the stock market. Then you're not going to want to lose your money, so you're going to want to pay attention in class. So I put $3,000 in stocks at night, and of course, I then ended up passing that class and making a bunch of money in the process.
Well, that's how I do it. So my trading runs for 8 hours a day, and we're starting like an auto trade now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey guys, I want to put up 10,000 each because I want to personally back you. Like if you're, if you're moderator of my company, I have to believe in you. I'm going to prove that I believe in you because I'm going to back you. So I'm giving two of my traders 10 grand each.
Yeah, no, I would love to. Let's follow up after this and talk more about that. But in the meantime, we're going to wrap up here. Andrew, where's the best place for people to connect with you online?
You can always email me. I'm I'm a millennium, even though I'm not an age. Andrew at alphashark.com. Any questions whatsoever about trading or the Airbnb space? I know it very extensively. I've read the 6 books that are out there on it. People feel free to email me.
Folks, I may have to stop doing the podcast. I will tell you why. I have found a business and I'm ready to go all in. It's the one I want to take public by the time I turn 30. It's called thetopinbox.com. And here's why I know it's going to be big, very big. There are so many other companies charging way too much for this right now. Yesware, ToutApp, Boomerang. That's to do things like send later reminders and auto follow-ups for salespeople inside of your Gmail inbox. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it for free. We have so many people using it. It's growing so fast. And we do many of the things that salespeople love. We don't require people to leave the inbox to go log into a website. It's so simple to use. And I have to tell you, salespeople are like drooling over this thing. They're like licking the drool off their keyboard. They're loving this thing so much. Thetopinbox.com. Go install it now. Use it for free, people. Okay, I like you because you're listeners. Use it for free before I decide to start charging for it. Go right now to thetopinbox.com. Okay, Top Tribe, I have to tell you, many people go, Nathan, you came out of nowhere. Your website's growing so fast. How'd you do it? The answer is simple. So I use HostGator. I don't know if you guys know that, but I use HostGator. And the reason I do, they have about 4,500 free templates I can use because I don't code. They've got a great e-commerce plugin. And guys, I bug the heck out of their support. They've got 24/7 support, which I love. So what I've done is I've worked with them. You guys know I make great deals. If you go to hostgator.com/Nathan, you can sign up, get your own domain for 30% off and a 45-day money-back guarantee. Okay, again, I make great deals for you guys. Go to hostgator.com/Nathan to grab that now. Great. Top Tribe, we'll link to in the show notes at nathanlatka.com/the top 502. Again, /the top 502. All right, Andrew, these are the famous 5 rapid fire questions, short answers. You ready? Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Automatic Customer.
Number 3, and that's, I think, John Warlow, right?
I don't think it is.
Automatic Customer.
About subscription-based model.
Yeah. That's John. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
I'm reading the Phil Knight book as well, Shoe Dog.
Perfect.
Elon Musk is a god.
Yeah. So Elon Musk. Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have, like Acuity Scheduling?
Not really.
Okay. Number 4, yes or no, do you get 8 hours of sleep every night?
No.
Number 5. Actually, Andrew, what's your situation? Are you married, single, do you have kids?
Single, no kids.
Okay. And how, you said you're 33 or 35?
7.
37. Okay. Take us back last question. Take us back 17 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Holy fuck. Not to date a girl for 8 years and be engaged.
Stay independent as long as possible. There you have it, Top Tribe from Andrew Keene. He's done well trading over $5 million as he's coming out of school doing the $250,000 thing to get launched. But more importantly, he's on to a new trend at AirBNB, did his first pilot project in San Diego, $350,000 unit, putting up $70,000 cash to avoid PMI, increase cash flow, and looking at vertical integration in this industry, ranging from property management to deal flow to becoming a realtor to save 2.5% to 3% per deal. Andrew, we're going to watch you, man. Thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks, buddy.
If you enjoyed Andrew today, go back and listen to Pritesh yesterday, where he talks about his company, Uninstall.io. They have $325,000 in funding and just passed 15 customers. Hey, Top Tribe, I love giving away free money. I feel like Oprah giving away cars, and I have something special for you today. How many of you have heard our super sharp guests talk about success they've had with Facebook and Google ads? Well, all of you listening right now, yes, if you're listening, you get $100 in free AdWords. Here's how you get it. Okay. Again, thanks for listening. Get the free $100 from Google, right, when you sign up with my website host provider, HostGator. Go sign up now to get your free money. HostGator.com/Nathan. Again, that's HostGator.com/Nathan. Okay, Top Tribe, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. And don't forget, before you listen to any other episodes, subscribe on iTunes right now for your chance to win $100 every Monday.